Summary of the Life and Career of Abraham Lincoln, Great President, Emancipator of Slaves. Chapter 1, A Beginning in Poverty, 1823 to 1830. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a small log cabin at Sinking Spring Farm near Hodgenville, Kentucky. His parents, Thomas and Nancy Hanks Lincoln, were poor farmers living in the harsh frontier. When Lincoln was 2 years old, the family moved to Knob Creek Farm, where the young boy soon displayed curiosity about the world around him through the wild fields and stories from his mother. Lincoln had an older sister, Sarah, and a younger brother, Thomas, who died young, leaving an early mark of loss. Lincoln's childhood was tied to grueling labor in the fields under the scorching southern sun. His mother, Nancy, was a source of inspiration and affection, often sharing Bible stories, teaching her children about kindness, morality, and patience. However, in 1818, Nancy died of milk sickness when Lincoln was only 9 years old. Her passing left a profound emotional void, forcing the young boy to mature quickly in silence. His father, Thomas, was stern, spending most of his time clearing land and rarely showing affection toward his children. Though he attended formal schooling for less than a year at a local school, Lincoln taught himself through borrowed books. Each day, Lincoln walked miles just to borrow books, demonstrating a thirst for knowledge and a determination to overcome poverty. His years in Kentucky not only toughened him physically but also shaped his character and ignited a passion for learning. In those impoverished circumstances, a boy with bright eyes and a sensitive heart began his journey to become one of the greatest leaders in American history. Chapter 2, Youth and the Journey of Self-Education, 1818 to 1830. After his mother's death, in 1819, Thomas Lincoln remarried Sarah Bush Johnston, a kind widow. She encouraged Abraham to read and nurtured his dreams of escaping poverty. When the family moved to the rugged wilderness of Perry County, Indiana, Lincoln faced a harsh environment, dense forests, barren soil, and freezing winters. He learned to chop trees, build cabins, farm, and adapt to a self-sufficient life. Manual labor honed Lincoln's endurance while teaching him the value of perseverance and self-reliance. During this time, he took on various jobs, chopping wood, working for farmers, and ferrying goods on the Ohio River. These experiences provided practical knowledge and helped him understand human nature, sharpening his observation and persuasion skills, qualities he later used effectively in politics. By the dim light of a fireplace, Lincoln diligently read books, the Bible, Aesop's Fables, a biography of George Washington. He often borrowed books from neighbors, walking miles to acquire knowledge. His relentless self-education turned those pages into a guiding light, helping Lincoln forge a path toward knowledge and a meaningful life. In 1830, the family moved to Macon County, Illinois. At 21, Lincoln began an independent life, working on farms and quickly becoming a beloved community figure due to his witty storytelling and sincerity. He often shared humorous folk tales that brought laughter, while honing effective communication skills, a crucial foundation for his later political career. Despite poverty, Lincoln never abandoned his ideal of serving the community. His relentless pursuit of knowledge and life experiences shaped a man with a vision ahead of his time, ready to shoulder great responsibilities for the nation. Chapter 3, Entering Public Life and a Legal Career, 1831 to 1842. In 1831, Abraham Lincoln left his family for New Salem, Illinois, starting an independent life. There, he worked as a store clerk, postmaster, and land surveyor. His honesty and dedication quickly earned him respect in the community, where locals admired him as Honest Abe. In 1832, Lincoln volunteered for the Black Hawk War, elected as a militia captain though he saw no direct combat. Though the conflict was not intense, the leadership experience taught him about responsibility and teamwork. That same year, he ran for the Illinois House of Representatives but lost. This setback did not discourage him. Lincoln continued studying, particularly law, through self-study of texts like Blackstone's commentaries. By 1836, he earned his law license and moved to Springfield, where he quickly became a respected lawyer known for sharp arguments, clear presentations, and relatable anecdotes. This style won the favor of juries and clients. Alongside law, Lincoln entered politics. In 1834, he was elected to the Illinois House as a Whig Party member and re-elected for 3 subsequent terms. He supported policies for infrastructure, education, and commerce. During this time, he voiced opposition to slavery, though cautiously, favoring gradual solutions over direct confrontation. Personally, he faced emotional turmoil when his first love, Anne Rutledge, died in 1835. In 1842, Lincoln married Mary Todd, a woman with progressive political views. They had 4 sons. Mary became a vital emotional support during the early years of his political career. This period shaped Lincoln as an upright lawyer and an ambitious statesman dedicated to justice. Chapter 4, Congress and Early Political Career, 1843 to 1854. In 1846, Abraham Lincoln was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, representing Springfield. During his 1847 to 1849 term, he pursued economic reforms and infrastructure development. He gained attention for strongly opposing the Mexican-American War, viewing it as an illegal act to expand slavery. However, this stance was unpopular with many voters, leading him not to seek re-election. After leaving Congress, Lincoln returned to Springfield, resuming his law practice and becoming one of Illinois' top lawyers. He handled complex cases involving land, commerce, and civil disputes, distinguished by logical, concise, and emotional advocacy. His professional reputation solidified his community standing while he closely monitored national politics, especially the slavery issue. In 1854, the Kansas-Nebraska Act passed, allowing new territories to decide on slavery. This sparked outrage in northern states. Lincoln saw it as a grave setback, threatening the Declaration of Independence's ideals of freedom. In response, he re-entered politics and helped form the Republican Party, representing forces opposing the expansion of slavery. In 1858, he ran for the U.S. Senate against incumbent Senator Stephen A. Douglas. The campaign featured 7 public debates between the two, widely covered by the press. In these, Lincoln condemned slavery as a threat to national unity and equality. Though he lost, he gained national attention and emerged as a strong contender for the upcoming presidential election. Chapter 5, Presidency and Civil War, 1860 to 1863. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was nominated as the Republican presidential candidate, bolstered by his reputation from the Douglas debates and his stance against slavery expansion. He won with strong Northern support, though he received no votes from the South. This result shocked the nation, prompting 7 Southern states to secede and form the Confederacy before Lincoln's March 1861 inauguration. Lincoln firmly resolved to preserve the Union, declaring secession unconstitutional. When Confederate forces attacked Fort Sumter in April 1861, the Civil War began. As president, he faced immense military, political, and diplomatic challenges. He appointed numerous generals, including Ulysses S. Grant, and replaced those who failed to meet strategic demands. Diplomatically, Lincoln successfully prevented Britain and France from recognizing the Confederacy, securing international neutrality favorable to the Union. A pivotal moment was the Emancipation Proclamation of 1862, effective January 1, 1863. It declared the freedom of slaves in rebellious states, excluding neutral slave states like Kentucky, Missouri, Maryland, and Delaware. Though it did not fully abolish slavery, the proclamation shifted the war's purpose from preserving the Union to fighting for freedom. It was a strategic blow to the South's resources and encouraged thousands of slaves to escape and join the Union Army. This action bolstered the Lincoln administration's moral standing internationally, especially in Europe, where slavery had been abolished. Amid the war, Lincoln endured personal tragedy when his son Willie died in 1862. Yet, he continued leading with unwavering resolve and faith in the ideals of freedom and justice. Chapter 6, Gettysburg, Re-election, and War's End, 1863 to 1865. In November 1863, Abraham Lincoln visited the Gettysburg Battlefield Cemetery to speak at a memorial for fallen soldiers. The Gettysburg Address, though brief at about 2 minutes, left a profound mark on American history. In it, he reaffirmed the Declaration of Independence's principles of equality and declared the war was to preserve a government of, by, and for the people. The speech not only honored the soldiers' sacrifice but redefined the nation's ideals during wartime. In 1864, Lincoln was re-elected president, defeating Democratic candidate George B. McClellan. This victory reflected public support for his policies and resolute leadership. Early in 1865, Union forces under General Ulysses S. Grant achieved major victories, weakening the Confederacy. Seizing the moment, Lincoln pushed for the passage of the 13th Amendment, officially abolishing slavery in the U.S. Though he did not live to see its ratification in December 1865, his leadership was crucial to its success. In April 1865, Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox, marking the Civil War's end. Lincoln then launched plans for national reconstruction. He proposed the 10% plan, allowing Southern states to rejoin the Union if 10% of voters pledged loyalty to the Constitution. This plan reflected a spirit of leniency and reconciliation to heal the war's deep wounds and divisions. In his second inaugural address in March 1865, one of America's most significant speeches, Lincoln spoke of unity and compassion. He urged no punishment for the defeated and emphasized shared responsibility in rebuilding. He also began advocating policies to expand citizenship rights for African Americans, including limited voting rights, a progressive stance for the time. These steps reflected Lincoln's strategic vision and deep moral commitment to shaping a post-war America. Chapter 7, Assassination and Eternal Legacy, 1865. On April 14, 1865, just days after the Civil War ended, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., while watching a play with his wife. The assassin, John Wilkes Booth, an actor and Confederate sympathizer, shot him. Lincoln died the next morning, April 15, at age 56. His death shocked the nation, plunging millions of Americans into mourning. Lincoln's body was transported from Washington to Springfield, Illinois, on a long journey through multiple states, allowing citizens to pay their respects. Memorial services spanned days, with thousands lining up to bid farewell. He was laid to rest at Oak Ridge Cemetery, becoming a sacred symbol of democracy and sacrifice for the nation. Lincoln's death left a significant void in the nation's Reconstruction efforts. His lenient Reconstruction plan was disrupted and altered under his successor, President Andrew Johnson, who adopted harsher policies toward the South. Nevertheless, Lincoln's spirit of reconciliation, magnanimity, and commitment to freedom continued to be cherished and honored throughout American history. Lincoln's legacy lies not only in preserving the Union and ending slavery but also in the moral values and leadership principles he left behind. Speeches like the Gettysburg Address and Second Inaugural Address remain quoted as inspirations for future generations. He became an ideal model for democratic leaders worldwide. Chapter 8, Medals, Honors, Awards, and Legacy. Throughout his life, Abraham Lincoln received no formal medals or awards, as such systems were not common in his era. However, his legacy is widely recognized and honored through numerous symbols and commemorative efforts across the United States and the world. The Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., dedicated in 1922, is a grand architectural and artistic tribute, reflecting the deep gratitude of the American people. His image has appeared on the 1-cent coin since 1909, marking his 100th birth anniversary, and on the $5 bill. His birthday, February 12, is recognized as a holiday in many states, often combined with President's Day to honor great leaders. Lincoln's name graces hundreds of schools, streets, towns, and public buildings across the U.S. The Gilder Lehrman Institute established the Lincoln Prize to honor outstanding contributions to historical research and civic education. Lincoln inspires not only in the U.S. but globally, with human rights activists like Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela citing him as a symbol of freedom and justice. From a poor boy in Kentucky, Abraham Lincoln rose to become a wartime president, a leader through crisis, and a symbol of justice. His legacy lies not only in political achievements but also in the democratic spirit, compassion, and aspiration to build a better society for all.